Hey guys, and welcome back to Smart Money Minds, and I'm going to tell you a secret today is that I like to play video games.
I'm coming up with 32.33, repeating of course, percentage of survival.
Well, that's a lot better than we usually do.
Alright, thumbs up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Dragons!
And I'm not sure if you do too, but I think a lot of people enjoy their PC gaming or their console gaming. And according to the latest study, 70% of Americans play some sort of video game, whether it's on their phone or on another platform. So if you're like me and like to play a little bit of Call of Duty or Overwatch or some PUBG, whatever that is that you're into, then I'm going to tell you how these games can relate to the stock market and how you too can make money playing these video games. And in today's video, we're going to be looking into some of the big entertainment companies that are heavily invested and produce a lot of big name video games. Some of you might know these names, some of these companies might be a little more obscure and not as well known, but if you're not quite at, 300 clicks per minute on your mouse, or maybe just your mom is watching your Twitch streams.
Jesus Christ. It's really as simple as that. There's no way I can delete anime from my life. It's not a fad, Dad. It's not a phase.
Then maybe you might be better off investing your time and money into some of these entertainment juggernauts instead of hoping that your video game career might take off.
Weird ass shirt.
Oh my god. He's hacking!
For this list of companies, I'm going to be focused on US based names only because most of my audience is from North America. But don't forget that there is more European, there's Chinese and Japanese gaming companies that are just as, if not bigger than a lot of North American video game companies. So number one, we're going to start off with the biggest giant of them all, and this one is Activision Blizzard. They're the biggest, largest market cap and revenue generating video game company out there in North America and also in Europe. And they're behind some of the biggest games in the market like the Call of Duty franchise, StarCraft, Overwatch, and even mobile games like Candy Crush. So Activision, trading as ATVI, has been part of the S&P 500 since 2015, meaning that they're part of the largest 500 companies in the United States. They were also making $7.5 billion in revenue in 2018. And they're also a dividend issuing company, so if you own shares of this company, you'll get a small payout regardless of the share price every quarter. This means that this can be a long-term hold for some people. Coming in at number 2 is Electronic Arts, EA. They're a $5.15 billion company in 2018, and they're the second largest game development company in America and also in Europe. They developed the series like Battlefield and all the EA Sports titles, The Sims, Mass Effect, and many, many more blockbuster games. Though they're not a dividend stock, EA has been consistently in a monthly uptrend since 2012. And though this company has been a steady winner in the stock market, it's faced some backlash recently in the last year due to some microtransactions and just poorly launched and lackluster games like Star Wars Battlefield and, Battlefield 5. And don't forget that Apex Legends, a game that came out very recently, shot their stock price 10% in such a short time. So anything can really happen with these established game companies. Our third company to make it on this list is Take-Two Interactive Software. They're the ones behind huge hits like Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption series, the 2K Sports series, and many, many more hit series titles. They're the one trading under the name TTWO on the NASDAQ. Since 2012 until now, this name has jumped 1,500% in the last 7 years, from roughly $7 to the peak of $139. With consistent big title games, Take-Two Interactive is posed to continue to grow, and in early 2018 it was added to part of the S&P 500 as well. Now, these are just 3 of the largest conglomerates that are in the electronic game industry right now. However, there are a lot of smaller companies and names that are catching up and developing their own series of games too. But without going into each one of these smaller companies, I want to talk more about the emerging technologies and the accompanying technologies that are poised to revolutionize this industry. And the companies developing in these technologies may be the biggest winners in the next few years. So let's talk mobile games. Remember Candy Crush, which was extremely popular a couple years back? What about Angry Birds, which is still popular and a lot of kids still play it right now? Mobile gaming is the next, if not the biggest craze right now. Even Fortnite has its own mobile version. So we want to look at companies, phone companies like Apple, Google, Samsung, and see what kind of advanced technology they're going to be able to put on their phones. Is it going to be better augmented reality? Is it going to be better graphics for gaming? Some people might even buy a phone just so they can accommodate a better game. The next thing we want to focus on is virtual reality games. Oculus Rift is owned by Facebook. The Google Cardboard is a virtual reality set. And the PlayStation VR games are owned by Sony. So this is the future of gaming. So we want to keep an eye on companies in advanced development of virtual reality games, because the next layer and next level of gaming is going to look like what you see in the movie Ready Player One. Now let's not forget international brands like Tencent Holdings, who owns 40% of Epic Games, who owns Fortnite, which is a giant, huge game right now. Don't forget names that are in Japan like Capcom and Sony and Nintendo, for God's sakes. These names are maybe a little more difficult to get into as you need a different currency, but it's still very achievable to invest in these long-standing entertainment companies. Last but not least, video games can't run themselves. They need hardware like the Microsoft Xbox, or video cards supported by NVIDIA or AMD, or gaming laptops built by Dell to run them when you're on the move. So all these supporting industries are going to help the video game industry thrive. So if you're into video games, maybe it's time to invest some money into the gaming companies that you know and love. In the comments below, tell me what your favorite game is on any platform. Video games have really transformed our lives, and hopefully it'll transform our financial status as well. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed what you watched today, and we'll see you next time.